Hey, what's up? I'm going to show you how to create a beat from a sample that you may have and kind of like trace it, but not trace it. Well, just pay attention and you'll see what I'm talking about. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up FL Studio. We're going to already open up the sample, but here's where I'm going to edit the sample, and I'm going to edit it using Edison. This right here is the song. It's called EPMD is Your Customer, and I've already spliced out to where I want it to begin, which is right here, and to where I want it to end, which would be right there, and we'll just go right there. So this is where we're going to cut it. All right, so let's play it. Okay, that's perfect. Then we're going to go right here to the edit, and we're going to say trim. And let's see, let's make sure we got it all. Okay, we got it all. Then you're going to grab this piece right here, and you're going to drag it onto your playlist, like so. Now, as you can see, there's already one here because I already started without you. All right, so let's just pretend this is the same thing. All right, so the first question you have is, what is the tempo going to be of what you want to do? Well, if you want to keep it the same tempo that the song was in, you could just leave it like right here. And what I would do is you can increase the tempo, which as you can see is going to make that move. So right about there. What I would do in FL is I would take my selector, grab this right here, all right, then I hit play. All right, so the next thing we want to do is we want to read the sounds. So I'm going to do something that this might be a little bit much, but just for I'm going to go to my time markers. I'm going to add one every bar. And did do it right? No, it didn't do it right. I'm just gonna just rename it. We're gonna add another marker here. I'm gonna call it M2. And I'll show you why I'm doing this in a second. So I'm just gonna go through all of the M's like so. Alright. Then I'm gonna get my razor and I'm just gonna go right along this line, just cut it. You probably can't see it with your naked eye, but if you zoom in really, really close, you will see that there's a small snippet. Then I'm just gonna cut it right there. Okay. So what I've done is I've named each one of my measures, and then I'm going to define this as a loop. So now watch what happens when I press play. Alright, I've already gone through the liberties of finding where the snare is. So the snare is right here. See this wave file right here? This waveform, excuse me. So this waveform matches up with this waveform right here. Now let's see, if we listen really carefully, watch this, let's listen. So that's a shaker right here. That sounds like a shaker. Let's just put it on here, shaker. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I already have a shaker. I'm going to add two shakers to this. It's going to be a shaker here, and then a shaker here, but not the same shaker. If you had a shaker in real life, it would make two sounds. It would make the sound of it going this way, right? The beans going forward, and then the sound of it going back. So it needs like two sounds, not just one. So we're going to make it two sounds. right? And then we're just gonna cut it down like right about here. You don't really have to in FL Studio, but you can if you want to. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna have a little fade out right there. Okay. Now, the next thing I see in this waveform is I see these little things right here. Let's sample this piece right here. So that's just the hi-hat. And I'm gonna assume that that hi-hat goes throughout the entire song. And it probably is just, going throughout the entire song, right? And then we need our kick, which is the double kick that you see right here. That boom, boom. Thing is, this kick needs to be truncated a little bit. So I'm just gonna slice this right here, right? And then I'm gonna bring in another kick right there. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy, paste, and I'm gonna move that double kick right there. Boom, 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 boom. I think we're done. I think this is it, right? So let's play the beat by itself. And then we're going to play the beat using our own instrument. Now, of course, we can always swap out the instruments later, but we just want to get an idea of the right sound. So, all right. Now, the next thing is we need to move this onto the tracks. So, let me show you FL Studio. So nothing's been assigned. So we have our kick, snare, hi-hat, and shaker. And we want to assign all of these to different tracks. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up the mixer and we're going to tell FL Studio root select the tracks starting from this track. And it's going to name it. Watch this. Boom. Everything is on one track. Everything is separate now. Now the problem is the shaker is we're going to put this on the same track, which is track number 4. And then we're just going to reset to default. There we go. So now we got the shakers on the same track. Now that that's done, the next thing to do is we need to program these things. Programming is when you say like turn certain things off and on. So for the kick, we already have it set to when it's playing to cut itself off, snare cut itself off, hi-hat cut itself off right here. So you group 3, and then right here is the shaker, group 4, and this one's group 4. So we name these both group 4s. I'm just going to delete that for the sake of deleting it. Alright, so now these have all been separated. The next thing to do is to take all of these channels right here and route them to one track. We're going to route to this track only. So all of these sounds are going into this right here. And then we're going to get our I like to use Maximus for this. Okay. Now, here's what I want us to look at. We're going to look at the waves, the original waves that were shown to us. And you're going to notice that you see the height of these things, the taller they are, the louder they are. So what we want to do is we want to match that loudness. See that snare? Way too loud. Now I'm going to bring this kick is already clipping. Not clipping really, but it's just I like my kick to be like a 12. I'm looking at it right here. There we go. A little bit lower. There we go. I'll bring it down just a little bit more. Alright, and then now I want my snares to be the same height as the kick. Watch this, I'm going to bring it down. I'm going to pick up the kick, put the snare up. You see the picture. The snare looks. I'll have to bring that hi-hat down because what I want to do is kind of match the same volume. Right? Okay, let's add the shaker. Take out the snare. Yeah. The shakers and the snares are about the snakers and the hi-hats are about the same. So watch this. Now put them all back. Now, let's add a little compression to this. We're going to use the New York compression. It's like a huge popular setting that a lot of engineers used to use in the 90s. So let's listen. And Marley Marl was a huge fan of what's called a plate reverb. So I'm going to load up a plate reverb. This is like way too much. And we're just going to turn up the wet. Then we're going to turn it down up here. And then I'm just going to get rid of a couple of frequencies that aren't necessary. So we can get rid of anything below that 40. And we'll turn these off right here to save on processing power. Because they're not doing anything but they want for no reason. And then you have it. That is how you remake a beat. Of course, you can find your own kick and snare to add to it or whatever. But for the most part, that's it. I hope that you enjoyed my tutorial, and I'll see you next time.